Bandai Namco Games bring Digimon action to the West with the newly announced Digimon All-Star Rumble. Billed as a thrilling party arena multiplayer game, Rumble is coming to PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 in the Americas on November 11th, with Europe slated for fall. The team behind Digimon Adventure and PSP is handling development for the game, which lets us up to 4 players select from a roster of 12 base Digimon characters for a total of 32 Digimon forms. Featured monsters come straight out of the various anime series, from Digimon Adventure to Digimon Fusion. Some of the base Digimon include Agumon, Biyomon, Runelmon, Gabumon, Gatomon, Shoutmon, Tensmon, and Vemon. This week, Shonen Jump officially announced the last Naruto the Movie, which opens in Japan December 6th with series creator Mashi Kishimoto supervising the story and design, along with an update to the NarutoMovie.com, and a teaser trailer has aired. In time for a cameo in Sword Art Online 2, you now have your pick of figures depicting Leafa in her swimsuit. Griffin's 1/7 scale 16.5cm version ships in September for 9,936 yen. Onechanbara Z2 Chaos is bringing another round of scantily clad and zombie fighting action to Japan on October 30th, just in time to play it on Halloween. This one's coming to PlayStation 4 with 4 playable characters, a new cross-mode combination attack, and a boss battle quick time kills, some of which you can see in the faction as Kagura, Saya, Aya and Saki go to work. Inspired by the line of miniature mecha toys, inspired by the popular line of mecha model kits, inspired by the hit anime about mecha, SD Gundam Capsule Fighter reaches the deepest level of mechception. Depiction by software released by Netmarble in 2007, SD Gundam Capsule Fighters began a huge hit in the internet CAF scene. Like many popular Korean titles, it is free to play and enjoys a lively competitive scene. One of the main attractions is definitely its striving to keep true to the diversity of the vast number of Gundam titles. The mobile suits are divided into 4 categories, ranging from the weakest C to the strongest S. Although there's a wealth of statistical information and power you can look up to see individual advantages of difference in power between mobile suits, their appearance alone makes it pretty clear. The C class you begin with is pretty one-tone with basic designs like a train suit for Zaku, while the S class are a spectrum of brightly coloured Gundams with accessories like jet planes strapped to their back, cannons twice as long as they are, or surfboard-like beam sabers. New mobile suits can be purchased directly or via virtual capture machines, which have random chance of producing several mobile suits or different classes. Each purchase can be made through the in-game currency procured by playing the game, or with Astios, the OGP planet virtual currency available for purchase with real-world dollars. Online play comes into the form of co-op missions for up to 4 players and versus battles of up to 12. Missions ran from iconic moments from the Gundam series, such as protecting launching shuttles from attacking vessels, to the bizarre, like protecting White Base from attacking RX-79 Gundams. Most missions are fairly short, even the longest not lasting longer than maybe 15 minutes, giving the game a pick-up and play feel. The playstyle is in third person with the traditional WASD controls, with most mobile suits using a 4-skill system, usually including a melee weapon, primary gun, machine cannons, and an ultimate attack. The style of gameplay is reminiscent of a more casual version of Armored Core, if you shrunk them down, gave them big heads, and then called them mobile suits. SD Gundam Capsule Fighters seem to try to capture the more measured combat of the earlier Armored Core releases, before combat began to reach supersonic levels of boosted maneuvering. Although the engine is more simplistic than other mech titles, there is definitely a ladder to climb. Low-level mobile suits are more lives than the S mechs in combat, but are hard-pressed to compete against the overwhelming firepower. Before throwing out the mission selection screen, I was kicked from a few levels for being a noob, which I felt was uncalled for, until I made it to the mission, where I was able to enjoy watching my training mobile suit repeatedly explode. Meanwhile, my allies were blowing up battleships with their cannons half-size of the mech. I think this is an indication of problems with menus. In my defense, the missions I selected were labelled very easy, and the menus are so cluttered that it accompanies so much information hard to determine what's irrelevant and how to interact. While it is easy to see what originally made SD Gundam Capsule Fighter a hit, it is definitely beginning to show its age, even in the free-to-play market. Games are continually developing more complex gameplay, while graphics continue to advance toward that of major console and PC titles. There is definitely a niche to which the game has more targeted appeal. Although my obsessive need to get 100% completion was long ago broken by disabling, I can definitely see how a collector, especially a mecha fan, could be drawn to get all the mini mobile suits. Regardless of your motivation for playing, it is a nice attraction and nowhere near the time commitment most MMORPGs require. Is anyone here playing SD Gundam Capsule Fighter? One down below. And that's all the anime news for today. Tune in next time for more news.